The Big Ten tournament is underway, and Illinois closed out their year with a second straight win against a ranked opponent. It's 3 straight wins in total, but they beat Purdue at home. Very impressive win. Again, 88-80. They were trailing almost the entire game. They pulled it out. It was a great comeback win. Great team win. All 5 starters scored double digits. It was Will Riley, who just got named Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year with 22. And Trey White stepped up again, just like he did against Michigan last Sunday. He dropped 20 and 9. He was their leading rebounder again as a guard. Very impressed with the team play in that one. And they might be playing their best basketball of the year right now. The way they crushed Michigan, the way they didn't hear no bell against Purdue, right? I'm really excited for all this momentum that they've got into the Big Ten tournament. Because look, yes, the entire season is important. I'm not going to say that. But the teams that we see be successful in their conference tournaments, be successful in the NCAA tournament. Geez, I cannot talk today. Those are the teams that are hot in March. March is a lot about who's hot. And it's 3 wins, but 3 very impressive wins. Stack that with some wins in the Big Ten tournament, right? This team is flaming hot going into March. People are already looking at them as a 6 seed, 7 seed that can really make some noise, can make a deep run. That's how the national media is seeing them. We already know that they are capable of that, right? Plus, Morez Johnson is active tomorrow's game, which is officially against Iowa. Now, that is confirmed at the start of this episode. Morez Johnson broke his wrist on February 15th. He is back for the Big Ten tournament. That's a big game, right? Because, I mean, they've been practically playing with only 8 guys for some of these games. So getting Morez Johnson back is huge, definitely adds some height. Illinois is a 7 seed in the Big Ten tournament. So they had the bye today. The tournament began today. They just had the single bye. But they're playing Iowa. Iowa is their opponent. That'll be at 5:30 Central tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern. Look out for that. So, obviously, they recently played Iowa. They beat them 81-61 at home on February 25th. Really not that long ago. And, I mean, they kicked the crap out of them. Iowa was the lowest team to make this tournament, right? Only the top 15 of the 18 teams make this tournament. So Iowa has the most outside chance to make some noise in this tournament, but they got a close win against Ohio State today. I'm not overly worried about this Iowa game. I know they just beat them recently. That always is cause for worry, right? Not only have you beat a team already, right? It's hard to beat a team twice, 3 times. It's certainly difficult, especially when it's recently, right? They only played them about like a week and a half ago. But still, with the way this Illinois team is playing, they're going to be stronger with Morez Johnson back than they were when they played Iowa not that long ago. And that was a 20-point victory. They dominated in that game. I am happy about the matchup. Ohio State, they'd also beat Ohio State, right? They beat them 87-79, but I'm less worried about Iowa than I am about Ohio State, is what I'm trying to say, because Ohio State played them in a much closer game at home. I'm not too worried about Iowa. I really hope I don't eat my words, but this team is on fire right now, and I just can't see how they would lose this game. But check that out, 5:30 Central Time, 6:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. If they beat Iowa then that's when they get the 2 seed. They get the 2 seed Maryland. That's a tough matchup. Maryland kicked the crap out of Illinois. That was January 23rd. It was 91-70, right? But there are some important stats to look at from that game, right? There's certainly not no hope, even though Maryland is one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten right now. They've been fantastic. They lost by 21 at home, but 16 turnovers in that game, allowed Maryland to score 27 points off those turnovers. And they also shot poorly. They only shot 37%, while Maryland shot 50% from the floor. That is crazy. Shoot 50% from the floor. And also, they got bullied in the paint. Maryland only hit 3 threes the entire game. They got bullied in the paint because Tomislav Ivisic was out for that game. He did not play. So Ivisic should be playing for that game, right? Knock on wood, right? I don't know why he wouldn't be. So they have that advantage going for them. But other than that, they just got to take care of the ball. They just got to take care of the ball in a much better way than they did against Maryland the first time. Maryland's a hot team, but they got to realize that the Illini are just as hot right now with their Michigan-Purdue wins. They got to trust themselves, right? They got to trust themselves. They got to feel confident about having Ivisic for this game when they didn't have him back in January. They just got to believe in themselves. It's certainly a tough matchup for just the second game. If they do get past Maryland as well, their semifinal opponent is likely to be Purdue or Michigan, the 2 ranked teams that they just beat. Also hard to beat teams twice, right? And at least for Purdue's sake, that was a close game at home. This would be on a neutral court. Really tough game. But if Illinois beats Maryland the day before, right, and they're matched up with Purdue, I think they're going to have a lot more. They're going to have more momentum than anyone in the tournament at that point. If they can just crush Iowa tomorrow, right, and then beat Maryland, a win against Maryland really puts you on the map. That's when teams are going to start fearing you instead of us looking at Maryland right now and looking at that as the opponent to beat on the bottom half of the bracket where Illinois is, right? So, I mean, really, I think Maryland is their biggest challenge to getting to the championship. Obviously, when it comes to the championship, the biggest challenge would be Michigan State. That's going to be tough to pull off. But again, if you beat all these teams, by then you've got all this momentum. Michigan State has a double bye, right? So Illinois will have an extra win under their belt going into that one. I'm excited. Illinois certainly has the potential to make a deep run. It really all depends on Maryland, right? Because if they lose to Maryland second round, then their only win of the Big Ten tournament is Iowa, and that's just not really. I don't want to say a win in a conference tournament isn't impressive, but it's certainly nothing. They're not going to do anything to help their resume by just beating Iowa and exiting the tournament, right? A win against Maryland, then this team looks like they can repeat as Big Ten tournament champions, right? Real quickly, I'm going to get into my predictions for the Big Ten tournament. Northwestern also won today. So you got that going on for them. Northwestern. So Northwestern plays Wisconsin. Iowa will be playing Illinois. USC Rutgers are playing right now. I haven't seen the score for that game. I think Rutgers is going to take that one just because of the pure star power that they have. So then that gives us tomorrow would be Indiana, Oregon. That's a really good game. I'm quickly going to pick honestly, I think I'm going to pick Indiana to win that game. Indiana has a lot more to prove than Oregon does in terms of the bubble, right? They're a lot more in danger. So I think they take that one. Wisconsin is not playing well. I certainly think Northwestern could beat Wisconsin because Penn State just beat Wisconsin last week. Yeah, you know what? I mean, one of these teams from the first day of the tournament always knocks someone out. And I think looking at this bracket right now, it'd be Northwestern over Wisconsin. I would take there. Illinois, Iowa. I'm very confident that Illinois is going to take care of Iowa. And then Purdue, Rutgers. Purdue should take care of Rutgers at that point, right? Then we got Indiana, Michigan State. Then I think Indiana's in a bit more trouble. I think Michigan State takes care of them. UCLA should finally put an end to Northwestern's little run. Illinois, Maryland. I'm going to pick Maryland for now, but remember what I told you, right? There's so many things Illinois got, just simple things, really. I mean, just if Ivisic is back, Maryland's not going to shoot 50% again. That's not going to happen again. And just limit the turnovers, take care of the ball. They certainly can win that game, right? For now, I'm going to pick Maryland, however. And then I'm going to take Purdue over Michigan. Michigan is also not playing well. I think Purdue takes that. So the semifinal would be Michigan State versus UCLA. Michigan State, I think, will take that as well. Maryland, Purdue, I think that will be Maryland. And again, if the Illini don't stop them now, a Maryland-Michigan State championship game, probably Maryland is my pick to win the Big Ten tournament. They are playing some hot basketball, but never count Michigan State out of it, right? There's a lot of teams on here that can make some noise.